Happy New Year!
Happy New Year,
We should
Ed.
be blowing horns and stuff, like 30 days late.
We should have like confetti dropping.
Dropping
from
from-
the end. Yeah, that'd be cool. How was your New Year, man?
Really good, really cool. Yeah, really good.
Did you do anything special?
Not really. We kind of play it low key. We let the amateurs go out there and drive around the streets at night instead of us.
I think I was in bed by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm like, nothing surprising. So
Another day.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't noticed in the chat, we're giving away $500.
Yeah.
And you don't need to answer any questions. There's no quiz. All you have to do is pick the winner of the Super Bowl, and the total points we'll use as a tiebreaker, and we'll give away $500. We'll give away $300 for the one that picks the winner and is closest to the ending score, total score, both teams, total score. And we'll give away $300 for them, and then we'll give away two $100 Amazon gift cards, two of those for second and third. That will be a random draw of the folks that picked the winner. I put mine in there. I picked the...
I have a question.
Yes.
I said, all last year I tried to get you to give away money. Like, why now? Why is this so special? Why are we doing $500 for the Super Bowl? Why is this meaningful to you?
Because we had a monster year last year, Victor. Cut right to the chase. We slayed it. We made a bunch of money. We made a bunch of sales.
Okay, Pat said, all right, here you go.
Give him a little bit of money.
All right, cool.
Oh, and the other thing is, my tried and true favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, did not make it. My second favorite team are the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
That are, guess where the owners are from, Victor? Of the 49ers.
Ohio?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow. It's
Youngstown, Ohio. How about
amazing
that?
How I
It
got
just all
that.
comes together.
Amazing.
So I picked the 49ers, and I think I put 47 points in there, or 57 points total. So get your names in there.
Okay.
We're going to leave your chat in here. It's really simple, even if you don't know football.
By the way, are the 49ers favorite? I see a lot of 49ers. Are they favorite?
I think the Ravens and the 49ers are the ones that are supposed to play, but they're really four good teams.
So who are you looking at? You want the 49ers?
I want the 49ers to win.
All right, I'll take the Ravens for $1.
Okay, Ravens for $1.
Ravens
there
for
you go.
$1. All right, we're good.
So we're going to leave this chat going. So anytime you come up with your winner, winner and total points, and again, you don't need to know a lick about football. Just guess. And sometimes that's how people win these pools. Who do you see out there?
Let me see.
I see Solid Punches. I don't even know if he's watching the Super Bowl after those Dallas Cowboys fell on their face again. That was not fair, Solid. I apologize.
I see Angeline Neely. Angeline, she's got this vest thing going on. She looks like a security guard or a cop. I don't know what it is. She's got something going on over there.
John Wilk.
Nary Roca. There's my guy, Roca.
Bobby Bundles, Shane Messer, Huey. What's
Jason
happening?
Snyder, David.
There's a Monty, Peter Dad looking
David
handsome.
Huey. Is that how you say it? Huey?
Huey. Yeah. That's his name. Who else we got here?
By the way,
Albert Lee.
Wait a minute. I got to know what Huey means. Is there a meaning for Huey?
Put it in the chat. I have no idea.
Put in the chat, Huey. What does it mean? Like, what were your parents thinking when they called you Huey?
That's his last name.
Well, I know. What was somebody? Give me the etymology of the word.
Victor, you're going to get thrown out of here.
All right, man.
You're going to get.
And there's my girl Roxanne Gallegos. Always out there. What's happening?
Hey, Roxanne won President's Club. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Carmen Diaz, what's happening? You look kind of serious. There you go. All right. Are we going to do some work here?
Yeah, let's do some work.
We're hustling here.
Who else we got there? Oh, B. Worth is out there. Good deal.
B. Worth?
Brian Worth, yeah. Another Chairman's Club winner. So the cool thing about this is we're going to scroll all of the President's Club winners at the end of the broadcast to include the sales leaders as well that won. So be looking for that. I guess first off, just to kind of share why I'm able to give away $500, Victor, let me lay some numbers on you, my man.
Lay it on me. That's so 1960s and 70s, but go ahead.
That's
so old school.
Born in 59.
Young guys are going, what does it mean, lay it on them? I mean, what does that mean? Go ahead.
$865 million.
Bam.
In Orkin U.S. sales produced by these folks.
That's what they call a ban.
That's a BAM.
No, ban.
A ban?
Yeah. A big number.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a ban. That's a ban.
That's a ban.
That's a big number.
Just outstanding. So we made sales plan as a company. That's all the sales rolled together.
Right.
And Victor, that's
an amazing number.
A 13% year-over-year increase. Outstanding. So just crazy good stuff going on. Third consecutive year of knocking down company-wide sales plans. And, we don't talk in these broadcasts about sales plans.
Right.
We talk about sales to last year because the motive is don't worry about plan. Are you getting better?
Right.
What's the opportunity? And you'll see as we kind of go through some of these numbers that a lot of double-digit increases across the board. So again, 13% increase. Thank you to all that you do.
Wow.
Just an incredibly successful year. And we talk about it all the time. What we're doing is unique in other industries, right? People aren't growing business that way.
Not at these numbers. Not what I see. No. Some people are just trying to hang on, stay flat.
Absolutely.
Those are great numbers. And you're scratching $1 billion.
Yeah, so the plan this year, the plan number that those folks up in the head shed there kind of shook out to us is like 998 million.
Okay.
And I just figured our target collectively with this team is, how's that Austin Powers thing go? $1 billion?
Baby.
That's our goal. That's what we're
yeah.
going to do.
Yeah, I think you meant to do this.
Yeah, that's it.
$1 billion. Yeah,
you know what I mean? No TV, no movies. I don't know all that stuff. I just see that on Group
I like
a
the
lot.
way that so what's number 9?
998.
Yeah, I like the way you just kind of volunteered them to help you hit $1 billion without asking them.
I don't do it. I don't do a lick of it. I don't think I sold $1 worth of business last year. So.
That's amazing, though.
No, it's really cool. And I'm going to share some numbers now. I'm going to start with the commercial numbers company-wide. I'm just going to share performance to last year. You know, usually we do the month and the year. We're going to share the performances over the next couple of moments of sales performance company-wide year to date for 2023.
Gotcha.
And then when we do our leaderboards, we will recognize the top performers in December. Yeah. So I will start off in commercial sales because again we've got it's kind of the same concept as last time. It'll change next month where we're going to split them out again. But we got the commercial sellers together again with our residential sellers and obviously all their supporting leadership.
Gotcha.
So let's just jump into commercial. And I was up in Ohio this week at the sales kickoff last couple days.
Okay.
And I'm going to steal a line from my friend Gary Hubbard, who's the division sales manager for the Midwest, by the way, another President's Club winner. Okay. And he said, I love this line when he said it. And anybody knows how, it's just pretty cool the way he said it. He said, you know, when it's cause and it benefits me, I'm going to round up. And so some of these numbers I'm going to round up. Okay. And I'll start with local commercial sales. Year over year increase, 13% over last year.
Double digit. Yeah, double digit.
Fourth year in a row. Every year since COVID, we've had a double-digit commercial sales increase. National team sales, that lifeblood of what our account managers and our national account folks working together, up 13%. Local commercial sales were $123 million. Wow. Team sales were $34 million. Big and our numbers. True nationals were $20 million.
Big dollars.
Roll it all together in a big old package commercial sales, $190 million. Just outstanding. Again, taking Mr. Hubbard's liberties of rounding up just a tad bit. Just outstanding overall company results. What we're going to show now are the 7 or 8 folks that made the $75,000 club in the month of December. So, Stormy, if you can roll the tape. How about them snowflakes, maybe?
Yeah,
huh?
maybe. Nick, is that you say Petropolis?
Petropolis.
Petropolis.
I
No,
believe.
Petropolis.
You're gonna make the guy mad by screwing up his name.
Okay.
All I know is I call him kind of like the solar field guru. He sold a bunch of that. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Big solar field sales.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about.
There's a bunch of them doing it, but he's had some really good success at it. You know, leading away with 121 grand. Come on.
That's nice. We'll just
in December, mind you, December.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
We'll call him Petro Nick or something like that.
And then just the rest of them down through there.
No surprise here. Benny Hill. Is that what you call him?
We did not
Benny
call
Hill?
him-
You got Benny Hill?
He is not Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
You talk about dating yourself. You're dating yourself.
Yeah.
It's Ben Hill.
Ben Hill.
Ben Hill.
I heard he's a big guy. Is he big?
He's
Is he tall?
He's 6'6".
All right, I should.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a big guy.
As I said, he's a good friend of mine.
No, just outstanding. And then a bunch of folks on that list that are there all the time. Right?
Jesse Jolly's son.
Yeah.
Doan.
I mean, you got Craven, you got Cervic, you got Coover, you got Jolly, you got Sundone. I mean, all those folks are going to.
Brandon Sevruk.
They punched their ticket to President's Club.
Nice.
Jesse Jolly, out of Pack Commercial. You know, he was trying to chase down Jason Civittoni, and he was working his tail off to catch him.
Yeah.
And he put up a miraculous effort that in any other year would have made him chairman of the Chairman's Club. But that dang Civittoni guy up from Boston stayed ahead of him, but I'm guessing Jesse's going to come get them.
Is it? Are we
Going to come get them next year. So yeah,
Nice.
just
Great numbers.
Just really, really great performances across the board.
Yeah.
And as you know, if you make the list, you get $100. If you lead the pack, you get a $500 Amazon gift card. I will get those out over this weekend. So
Nice.
look
Look
for
at
those
that.
in your
Look at
email
Santa
box
Claus over
sometime.
here. All right.
Sometime either Saturday or Sunday night. So that's commercial.
Okay.
Want to move? Talk about a little residential.
Hey, by the way, if you guys hit $1 billion, like, do you guys give
Don't-
all the salespeople like a bonus or something? If we all hit $1 billion,
Victor.
everybody wins something at $1 billion.
Victor.
I mean, I'm just saying, you're pushing them to get to $1 billion. Let's share the love.
You ever met Pat Chernowski? You met Pat Chernowski. You saw how
I
big
don't-
that cat is, right?
I don't believe I met him.
Oh, you met him. You met him. we're not
Go
getting
ahead.
just think of all the additional commission dollars
saying,
that would be
$1 billion.
paid.
That's
All right,
like
enough,
cost for
enough.
Celebrate.
Residential sales. Let's talk about residential sales as a group year to date. Again, just spectacular performance. We'll start off by talking about termite sales. Traditional termite, the old drill it and fill it we talk about. $121 million worth of that business.
Dang.
An 8% year-over-year increase. Just outstanding.
Some great numbers,
You say, well, that's not a double-digit increase. The reason it's not a double-digit increase is because we've increased our bait sales, termite bait sales, 19%. Termite bait is way stickier for our operators on people paying their renewals. They see the little green things in the ground when they're out messing in their garden, pushing their mower around. That business sticks. The average renewal time for a termite bait customer is somewhere between 7 and 8 years, where our liquid folks tend to leave us after 3 years because they can't see it.
That's fascinating,
crazy.
right? Psychologically, that's fascinating.
It's
to
nuts.
me.
And I don't know that that's the main. I think that's got to be the main reason it's
Yeah.
stickier, right? Because
Right.
you got the threat. If they don't pay their renewal, we can go pop them stations out, and then whoop, there goes all our termite protection.
Yeah. Maybe it's like,
so
yeah.
maybe it's kind of double edged. They see it, and then the threat of us coming and getting them.
The visual loss of it, yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So that's cool.
Interesting.
Bait sales, I think I said 19%, $61 million. Our termite ancillary sales, which has been our fastest growing segment of our sales buckets, I guess we
Right.
call them, in residential, was up 28% year over year. Just phenomenal.
Nice.
$151 million total. This is coming off a 32% increase last year. So this thing is just, it's not just kind of steamrolling. You know, when you talk about when you save money and get that compound interest, this thing's
Right.
like leaps and bounds.
Yeah. When you
Leaps
look
and
at,
bounds.
because you've been here long enough, I mean, when you look at.
Was that a shot at
No,
how
that
long I've
wasn't.
been here?
I
How
wasn't
old I
taking
am?
a shot at you, Ed. But you've been here long enough that
40 years.
Okay, if you look like 15 years ago, right? For example,
Oh.
these would have been like by themselves. That would have been just a monster number, just that, right?
I don't even think you could have ever dreamt that it would happen.
Right. I guess I was going to ask, what do you think? I mean, obviously population growth, but what happened? What's this?
The ancillary
Exponential.
piece is each region, each branch kind of getting it, right? So it kind of had this groundswell in a couple of
Right.
different spots around the country, pockets. And man, it has just expanded.
But is it the footprint or the
It's not us
penetration?
expanding the footprint, it's the penetration.
Okay.
Right? It's
Yeah.
everybody grasping hold of it. I mean,
Gotcha.
there are still some regions that really aren't involved really heavily in the ancillary, but they almost get it by osmosis, and they're looking around like, who the heck is doing that?
Right.
And they got
It's
to get
almost
after it.
interesting, like the diffusion of it, right?
Yeah.
That's what's fascinating about it.
And it's the same thing with all of our businesses.
Right.
As we continue to have our sales managers kind of work with each other and get together,
Right.
You know, we've got these kind of things where they're sharing these best practices, and it's the same thing with our termite market share, because I'll talk about that now. But total termite sales, 18% increase over last year, $335 million. Similar to the increase in ancillary sales, it's been this rack purchase phenomenon, right? That really started out in a handful of regions in the
Right.
company, you know, maybe 10 years ago. And it has literally caught fire across the country
Right.
in pockets everywhere. Our rack purchases are up 22% year over year. You know, all those termite contracts that we're selling, 22% more of them are using the financing option or the payment option that we have, the deferred billing with rack. $180 million of our $335 million in termite related sales are being purchased that way because we're closing it that way. We're getting it bought that way. You know, they're not necessarily taking payments, but what they're doing is they're paying it off in 90 days because our
Right.
salespeople have perfected the pitch that,
Right.
Victor, I don't need your money. Short approval process, we'll get you approved 90 days, same as
Right.
cash. Pay us after all the work's done. Our boss comes out and checks it, and we'll settle up
you on
after
that.
that.
Yeah.
Use our money. Pay us when you are completely satisfied with the service and the results our service renders.
Yeah.
And spinning it that way has created this phenomenal thing.
Interesting.
Our company-wide market share was 50.7%. 50% of our contracts last year were purchased by REC. That's up from 46% last year.
Right.
And that has just grown in leaps and
So again,
bounds.
the first time you're over 50, though.
First time ever over 50 as a company. The cool thing about that is we've got room to grow there like crazy. There were 2 regions that went down, and I mean, they went down. It was like a bare knuckle fight. There was one region called North Texas, Oklahoma, and there was one region out of Chicago, Illinois, the Illinois region.
Right.
These 2 battled. The 2 sales managers, Cliff Brown and Jacob Johnson, created this champion coin that they passed back and forth each month on who had the lead, who was the number 1.
I like that.
And at the end of the day, Victor, you would be proud to know that guess who won?
The guy from Chicago.
The guy from Chicago.
Of course, the guy from Chicago is going to win.
The guy from Chicago.
People from Chicago are always winners.
But check this. So we talk about a company rate of 50.7% market share.
Right.
Both of these regions, targets for all you region managers and region sales managers out there, both of these regions were above 77%. Cliff and his team up there and Rich and his team up there eked it out over Jacob and the boys down there in North Texas.
Right.
77.3 for Cliff, 77.1 for Jacob in North Texas.
That's
I
close.
mean,
Yeah.
they were splitting hairs,
I love it.
and it was just cool watching all the back and forth.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Just crazy good stuff. Rack sales were up $37 million over last year. You know, just phenomenal results.
$37 million.
37 more million.
I won't say the company name. I just spoke to a company, and their top line revenues was like $30 million.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to get to 32.
This is just that little piece of
I'm
our
just
business.
like, this is a remarkable business.
$37 million improvement in rack purchases. So life
Crazy
is
numbers.
good. Life is
I'm
good.
telling you, I think sometimes I wish the Orkin folks could see what I see. Some of these other companies that are struggling to hit. I mean, if they can get 2-3%, they're happy.
Yeah.
5%, they're just ecstatic.
Yeah.
These numbers are incredible.
Yeah, and they have been. As you know, we talk about it all the time. This is a good solid 4 or 5 year run.
That's amazing.
You know, just exploded. On the residential pest control side, let's not lose sight of that. We sold $328 million as a company residentially, just bonkers. The residential sales were up 5%, you know, year over year. That was the one that kind of started slow at the end in the beginning of 23,
Right.
but really has gained momentum really since July, August, and they're posting darn near double-digit increases on the back half of last year. So it raised it all the way up to 5%. And we're off to a really good start in January with our residential PC sales, again, pushing double digits. So that tended to have bounced back a little bit for us, but just outstanding. And the one thing, every time I talk about residential sales, I always want to remind people that the residential sales that are sold by the company, right? I think too often times our branch managers and folks that, you know, that don't really grasp how it's sold is they believe that all the sales are driven and dialed up by the call center. I want to remind everybody that 71% of our residential PC sales are, yes, in fact, sold by the folks at OC3. You know, that team that does such a great job. But there's 30%, the balance of 29 or 30% rounding up, as Mr. Hubbard would approve of, are sold by the field. And we had a little bit of a setback there. In the field sales, the field residential PC sales, we only bumped that number 2% last year. While it's an increase and we want to be proud of it, the call center bumped theirs up about 6%. So that leveled out to about 5% total. So opportunity, I guess, is the best way to tease that out.
Yeah.
Fair enough? Fair enough.
I forgot to ask you this one. Let me totally interrupt your flow here. I've been
You're
wanting
really
to,
good at that, by the way.
You know, thank you. I wanted to ask, only because I'm interested in this. We talk about expansion and diffusion in the market.
Yeah.
The scent business on the commercial
Just
side.
getting off the ground.
Okay.
We did another relaunch of it last month with the marketing team that we talked about on one of the other broadcasts.
Right.
And I'm seeing some sales start to come. It looks pretty encouraging.
Okay.
It's like that newness. That's another one that will start out here. There'll be one branch that gets it. Then they'll say, "What's going on over there?"
Let me try that.
Then there'll be a region that
I'm
gets it.
keeping my eye on that one for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see that one grow.
too.
Yeah, it's an interesting market.
I actually just looked at South Central's, their group me yesterday to see how many they sold, and they're actually tracking the units.
Yeah.
So they're making it visible. So thanks for doing that, Roxanne, and keeping that front and center. Big success story. Again, probably for the last 4 years in a row, our mosquito sales as a company up 26%. And again, using Mr. Hubbard's round up a bit, $60 million in mosquito sales. I mean, 5 years ago, I don't even think we had 5 million as a company. I mean, it's just a testament to what these folks are doing out there every day.
I didn't think there was that much business out there. Do you know what I mean?
People get working $60 million to take care of mosquitoes.
Wow.
I mean, just crazy. So, again, just super performances. And I'm so proud of this team. I had the opportunity last week to get in front of our region leadership, you know, at the big meeting here in Atlanta. And I got a chance to represent you all and share the success that you had. And man, we made sales plan, and we're 13% ahead of last year. everybody's raving about it. Everybody's talking about it, and it was just fun to be able to talk about what these folks do.
Absolutely.
And what they did.
Great numbers.
So just
Fantastic
outstanding.
numbers.
They're going to ask us to do it again. But before we get to kind of the content we want to talk about, we had a whole bunch of folks sell 100K, get paid on 100K in December.
Yep.
And Stormy, we should probably cut to the tape.
Tyler Jones. I'll send you $5.
It cost you $5.
Yeah.
If you remember,
I'll
right?
send you $5.
Victor picked Hassan to beat
picked
Tyler
Hassan.
for the chairman of the Chairman's Club. And
what was it close between Hassan and Tyler?
No, not. Did you see the month he put up in December?
Yeah.
A month I've never seen in all my time here.
300.
He got paid on $307,000 in the month of December.
That's amazing. Well done, man. Well done. Well done.
Any way you slice it, that's a $45,000 paycheck.
That's a crazy number.
Right? So yeah, he did nudge out Hassan. You owe him $5.
I do. I owe him $5.
And I just went back and
not like he needs my $5. You know.
I just went back and talked to a new sales class here in the back between our broadcasts. The folks know we do two of them.
Right.
And they teams. It's the Southeast residential new sales class, and they teams. Well, I had the opportunity to see Tyler on teams. They teams them in, and what a humble guy. I mean, and he when he got out of the gates, he struggled for his first 6 months.
How
He told
long's
the
he been
team
here?
that about 2 years.
2 years? Wow.
About 2 years. Just crazy good stuff. So there's one name missing off that list that I want to recognize because he doesn't show up in our reports anymore. But it's Roger Kennedy. Roger Kennedy is the GOAT of all termite salespeople ever. Okay. 39 straight President's Clubs. He sold $105,000 and got paid on $105 in December, but he fell off the reports because he's no longer employed. He retired at the end of December.
Okay.
So true story. I call this cat. He and I chat pretty frequently.
Right.
So I call him like after Christmas. Wish him happy holidays, belated happy holidays. I said, Roger, what are you doing? I said, Are you burning these vacation days as you kind of ride off into the sunset?
Right.
And he said to me on the phone, he said, Ed, you know me.
Yeah.
He said, I'm working today.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not leaving here without putting up another $100,000 and getting Donna that $100 gift card you're going to send me.
Nice.
And I got to make sure I qualify for the Chairman's Club.
That's funny.
So to the very end, the dude's just grinding. So I thought that was a cool story.
Way to go, Roger.
Anybody else there you want to shout out?
Sambu Hassan, my man who lost, but still second. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Amen.
Marlon Fuentes Alvarado. Who's this guy?
New name. New to me. New to me. Outstanding performance, though, in Central Cal. I believe it's his first time on the list, and that's always great to see.
That's cool. See, anybody?
Same with Tyler Frazier. Is new as well, Yeah. And one guy I want to shout out, and obviously a whole bunch of folks on that list are going to be at President's Club, but I want to focus on Jaden Jenkins out of the Ohio region. He's out of Dayton, and I mentioned, and we're going to dive a little.
Jaden Jenkins,
Jaden Jenkins, JJ. We're going to talk a little bit about my experience when we get into the content in a minute. But he's been employed here for 6 or 7 months, and in those 6 or 7 months, he sold $770,000.
Hot dog.
$770,000. He sold.
Nice.
Got paid on 106 last month. Just getting out of the box in a hurry.
Yeah.
Young guy, no experience in the industry. Just walked in and just got after it. And I guess that's the message I tried to share with the new class when I just left them. That you can walk in here and in 6 months. You can be banking 6 figures. I mean, just like that.
Well done.
Just like that.
So we got some shout outs to Marlon here, and let me see. Mr. Morales got a shout out also. Roberto.
Yeah, Roberto, absolutely. Roberto. Good
Way
to see you, man. Good to see you.
Ben Bridge, Wisconsin, Midwest.
Amen.
Way to go.
Lots of good shout outs.
Absolutely.
And let's be mindful of our call center folks, the OC3 folks. I mean, you look at Gary Frano. He's been on that list for probably the last
280. That's a big
last
number.
5 or 6. 280 in December.
280. I mean,
And you got kind of the brothers, the
Mazanovs.
the brother Mazanovs,
The Mazanovs.
right? So,
Yep.
which is really cool. And you know, you think about all the brother combos we have in the company, right? You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know how it happens. They never come at the same time.
Right.
But you know, as I think about it, just the President's Club, and if I miss some brothers, shame on me. But when I look at the President's Club list that you'll see at the end of the broadcast, you got both Brian Worth, Justin Worth,
The Worth brothers.
the Worth brothers,
The Mazanovs.
the Mazanovs. You got Taylor Peters, and you got Justin Peters up in New England.
Okay.
And you got
Corpez.
Hassan
Right.
and Ray Bryan Corpaz.
I feel like we're missing
brothers.
someone.
No, I think that's all
That's
the brothers.
it?
If there's
Okay.
other brother combos out there, give me a holler. But
By the way,
those
shout
are
out
ones-
to shout out to Caitlin Arp.
Yeah,
Go
absolutely,
Caitlin.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. So
Great
again,
numbers.
the call center folks, just great numbers there, and
Oh, Brian Bergeron wants to remind me. Victor, that's right. The West Coast is here.
we'll stay away from that one. If you have not posted your score and your winner yet, we're going to keep that chat open for a while. But I want to talk a little bit about some content, Victor. And
All right.
it's that time of year. You've been traveling a lot, right? You've been
Yep.
bouncing around, going everywhere, and this begins my kind of. I call it the rubber chicken circuit, right? From like the old spring.
Why do you call it the rubber chicken circuit?
Because baseball teams, they do these visits to cities
Right.
in spring to try to get people to come to the games.
And is it called the rubber chicken circuit?
They call it the rubber chicken circuit. So
By
like
the way,
coaches,
if that's true, give me
somebody
a one.
put
somebody
somebody
I don't
put a
believe
1
that.
in there.
I think
'cause
you
this-
made that up.
This
I think
guy
you
will
made-
leave me alone. But they travel around to the
Yeah.
smaller communities
Right.
and they try to promote ticket sales. So hopefully there's
Jesse's
some,
with you.
Okay, thank you. At least somebody's with
Joseph,
me.
rather.
So here's what goes on for my life now. I get on the road. A couple of weeks ago, I was up in Virginia pitching a big national account. I'm going to talk about that. And this past week, I was in Ohio. I was in Ohio for the last couple of days at their kickoff meeting, and I think I'll be with Jacob and his new team, with Lindsay up in Kansas, Missouri. It's a wild next couple of months. But
Okay.
but I want to come clean
Okay.
with my peeps.
Yeah. All right.
And that I had two kind of you knucklehead aha moments.
Forehead moments.
Just like, how could you're not doing what Victor's teaching, right?
Okay.
And the first one I'll start with will be kind of more commercial focused. But I want to kind of share with you that you can be doing this for 40 years and still find ways to get better. So while I get the opportunity to go to these kickoff meetings and I get a chance to talk to some folks and hopefully spread a little knowledge, right? You know, some of my share what I got. I come away most of the time with more than I give, right? But I'll start with the first one, and that's we went up into Virginia Beach 2 weeks ago to present to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, 16, 17,000 stores. We had some experience within in the past. We made the list of 3 companies to present. It was us, Ecolab, and Rentokil. Really on the national scene, there's only really 3 competitors anymore. So everybody got to present to Dollar Tree, and everybody went the same day. And what was crazy about it, Victor, everybody stayed in the same Hilton Garden Inn, right? And it was just random. You picked your hotel. So we were last.
Interesting bar conversations.
Well, it wasn't in the bar, but it was funny. So Mala Williams was with us, and she was up having coffee in the morning. I was on a couple of Teams calls, and she actually watched the Ecolab folks go through their whole presentation, not knowing who she was.
Right.
Looking over her shoulder and creeping, right?
Yeah.
So what was unique about it is that we were last, which is sometimes good. The rule of latency, all that kind of stuff that you talk about all the time. But with the 3 companies presenting, I think, and we've talked about this, Victor and I have kicked this around for probably an hour, we missed an opportunity to block an objection. And let me set the stage for you. So we go in to present. It's Judy Black, myself, Rhonda McCauley, and Mala Williams. We go in to present this, our pitch. They give you a couple hours. Hey, come show your stuff, and let's see if you make it to the next level. So we go through our pitch, and we think we're rocking it. We think we're killing it. We think we're doing great. And then one dude in the back, they're like 12 people from Dollar Tree, quality assurance folks, some safety folks, some operators, some procurement people. Just a pretty good mix of their organization in the room, in the chairs. Really nice conference room, and we're getting there. We go through our stuff, and we get to the end, and they ask questions. So some good questions come up first, and easy ones. Then this one cat in the back. This dude that I want to just punch in the nose, raises his hand, And he says out loud in this room, you know how you don't want these things coming out and getting voiced in public because then you got to defend the whole fort.
Right.
He says to me, he said, Ed, how many of the folks that are going to be doing our services are W-2 Orkin employees? And if you don't know our organization very well nationally, we have about 40 franchises that are not W-2 employees. But obviously this seed was planted by our Rent-A-Kill folks, really good, thoughtful salesperson, or Ecolab. One of those folks planted this seed.
Yep.
Maybe you don't want to, maybe didn't come right out and say, ask Orkin if they have W-2 employees,
Wow.
but they spun their case that all of our employees are W-2 employees. And they all go through the same training. So we haphazardly dance around. I didn't think we did a very good job of responding. We recovered, but not the way I wanted us to.
Right.
And then so this same knucklehead in the back shoots his hand up because we talk about, oh, they go through the same training, blah, 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 blah. We tap danced.
Yep.
Because not that we weren't prepared for it, because we've heard it before, but never that on target. Then he says, oh yeah, by the way, how much of that training that's done in your franchises is documented? Because you know, Ed, if that training, this is this guy, I want to kill him. If that training isn't documented, it never happened. And I'm like, you son of a gun.
Right.
So at that moment, again, we did a little more tap dancing. The good thing we had is we had the opportunity after we met with them to respond to, they asked like 3 or 4 questions, follow-up questions,
right.
and they wanted to know about that. Can you show us how you do that?
Can you elaborate more on this?
Yeah, so we spent some time, and we found out we have 42 Orkin franchises.
Right.
They're owned by 23 people.
Right.
And of those 23 people, 20 of them have been Orkin people for 20 years or better, right? So we were able to kind of come up with that. But my thought was, that's an objection that the first time I met you, you convinced me to do business with you because of how you talk about blocking objections.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, how did I miss that, right?
Yep.
And I chastised myself. So what I've been doing here over the last week and a half is structuring and fashioning a talk for our national account salespeople that will block that response before it comes up, because we know in these kind of environments it's coming, because they're going to plant that seed. It's not one of those objections that you block and it never comes up.
Right.
This is going to come. And if I'm on their side, I'm bringing this all the time.
Right.
So I'm working with ChatGPT. I'm working with Gordon Mellering.
Yep.
I mean, we're taking out all the things so that we can address that and use our franchises, spin it from a defensive mode to why we have franchise and how it values you, Mr. National Account Customer.
Make it a plus.
And we're going to have that. And we're going to have that by make it a plus. So talk about blocking objections and just a simple thought about how they can get better, both residentially and commercially, with objections that frequently come up and how you can kind of work your way through it, because it's certainly time to get into the course.
All right. So as many of you know who've been into the Sales Velocity Academy, the most valuable course in there is the blocking objection. I talk about the psychology of raising the objection. If you raise the objection, you control the conversation. If somebody raises the objection, like that guy did in the meeting, all of a sudden you're on the defensive and it's hard to recover from that. But I told Ed earlier, I said, look, if it's an objection that rarely comes up, you never raise an objection that rarely comes up. But if you're in a bake-off, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
The bake-off, right? Then, and you know the objection is coming, then you have to raise the objection, answer it, and then you resolve it and you squelch it. So that's really how blocking objection works. If you've not gone through the course, I'm telling you, it is the best course in all the academy, the most powerful one. So again, I wouldn't be mad at that guy. I would want to hire him.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm
offering him a job.
Yeah,
you.
put him on our team.
By the way, what he did was known as a poison pill.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
that, right? Just totally poison pilled the whole thing. And because we talked about this, you were last presenting, that's the last thing that's on their mind.
100%.
The rule of latency kicks in, as you pointed out. They remember that. And that's why you got the question to follow up. But you did get another chance to kind of answer it. So
I think the cool thing about it and how we were able to save it, I don't know if just on that alone we would have saved it. Because like I said, we were clunky with it. And I was not comfortable. And I'm like, well, you screwed that up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we were able to respond in writing because we got that. And we had a much more.
But you may not always get that opportunity,
That's what I'm saying. We were lucky to get
Yeah.
it. Because what happened and what ended up happening is we are down to the final 2, and next week we're inspecting all other DCs.
Right.
So we're in the hunt, and they've already kind of teased us that they want to give us like 2,500 stores, but we're not going to start the business for 2,500 stores. We want more.
You want more?
We want more.
Who's your main competitor now?
It's going to be Ecolab on this one. I think it's us and
So Ecolab is like the Death Star now, right? We hate them.
Well, I hate all the competitors,
Okay,
but
well,
that's another
yeah.
story.
All right.
So.
But that's good though. Now that you have, once you get the framework in, what you say, your talking points, the messaging, get that out. Everybody starts using it. You're good.
100%.
Yep.
So that's my first Brene Brown vulnerability moment that I wanted to share with this team, to tell them that I'm not all that I'm propped up to be. What?
Well, this whole vulnerability thing, who's Brene Brown? I still say, I don't know.
Oh my God.
By the way, who knows who Brene Brown is?
If you know who she is, put one in the chat.
By the way, put a 0 if you have no idea.
You don't know nothing.
Brene Brown. Let me talk about my vulnerabilities. I see insects and pests.
Look at all. She's great. She's great. Look at that.
Okay, what is your vulnerability story?
All right, so that's one. I'm telling you that I screwed up, right? I'm going to tell you another one, and it happened in Ohio this week.
There's a lot of zeros in here.
You guys need to get educated.
One. Roxanne, one, really? Let me see.
When I said her name,
Chris,
there's a big
Chris says she's amazing.
All right, leave it go. I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying.
So can I be vulnerable one more time with our folks?
Brian says, Victor, look up. Damn you, Steve. I don't know what that means.
Even Stormy's taking shots at you. All right, so here we go. Here's story number 2, and it happened this week in Ohio. And it's as I got away from it, as I left the meeting, I committed to myself, and I even kind of chastised the team a little bit. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about gutters, and we were talking about gutter protection, and we had the gutter lock folks in. You know, as you go through these kickoff meetings, as you bring these vendors in, I encourage you salespeople and you sales managers to engage completely with them. Here's the story. Forever and a day, I viewed gutter protection sales as simply keeping me from having to get the leaves out, right? That was my limited mindset. I mean, I knew that we did some exclusion with it, and that it helped with some of that stuff, but I'd always thought that, man, 2 things happened. I thought, man, that's a lot of money to keep the leaves out. I can pay some college kid to get on a ladder and clean my gutters out. But I mean, we sold a bunch of it, but the guys in Ohio, Marty Cotter, Stephen Genther, and Sean Russ, the sales leadership up there, they have moved their salespeople to selling nothing but the high-end product, Victor.
Okay.
They're not selling the stuff that's $11 a foot. They're selling the stuff that's $18 a foot.
Okay.
And then I got to see what it was for. Their whole spin on gutter products in the Ohio region is simply this: we're going to exclude all the wildlife. We're going to be proactive and exclude. We're going to keep the leaves out, so you got to do all that garbage. We're going to be proactive in protecting your house against wildlife entry and rodent entries. And they're spinning it that way. They're not allowing their salespeople to go down to the $11 a foot, the simple one that doesn't do that. They're using the full exclusion product, and
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
And I sat there and I said to myself, I said, you knucklehead, what is wrong with you? You know, you profess to be this guy that's always studying stuff. Let me tell you one more thing that made it even worse. The gutter lock guy asked for a show of hands in the Ohio region kickoff meeting, 60, 65, 70 people there. The gutter lock guy's in front of the whole team. He says, how many of you have gone through our 1-hour certification online to make you the expert in this? And there's like less than 10 hands popped up, right? And so I chastised it. When I got my turn to speak after, I told this story. I said, I'm embarrassed that I didn't know more about this product. I'm embarrassed that I was thinking about it the wrong way. I wasn't thinking about all the benefits of it. And I'm embarrassed that I haven't gone through the training yet to get better, because I speak all the time about investing in yourself. And this was free. And I said, I don't know what y'all are going to do. I said, by the end of this weekend, I will be gutter lock certified in their course and be able to hang that on their hat. So I was embarrassed by my lack of depth on the product, and that product, it won't happen again. There'll be another one that comes down the road. But that would be my challenge to you: is you get these vendors in, coming and speaking to your meetings. Don't sit there and snooze and play on your phone. Man, dive deep in. Dive deep in, because I mean, talk a little bit about your thoughts on that.
I love the fact when you first told me the story, I was like, when you made yourself vulnerable.
Thank you.
Right? And that whole thing, right? When you made yourself vulnerable. What's interesting about that story is that you expanded, well, whoever the trainer was, expanded the value equation of that. Because it was just, we thought the value was, well, you get no leaves, I don't have to get up there, and don't have to do it frequently, right? But he or she expanded your value equation. Says, no, this is what it means. You're going to stop. I call it intrusion. What do you call it?
Exclusion.
Yeah, exclusion, right? And again, you're preventing that. And so now you start thinking about it differently, and all of a sudden you can see the price point, the value go up. And I think you also mentioned that there were certain things that the guy said as he was doing the training that you said, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's when you're providing, we talked about this all the time, insight, information beyond the obvious. Like, I didn't know that. Didn't think about it that way. So he's reframing your value of how you look at the gutter guards.
Yeah.
And I think that's brilliant, man.
Yeah, it was
That's
outstanding.
it's a great way of looking at value expansion, and that you don't have to discount or go to the lower level. If your language changes, now you sell value, you can go straight to the 18, and people go, I get it, pay the 18.
And I think about what we do every day. We sell the most expensive products, right? These folks are really good at selling the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And why would we bother with that $11? Not only because we're doing wrong by the customer, but you're cheating your wallet.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
cheating your
think
wallet.
about it. You can actually, remember the sales velocity, one of the components is increase the average deal size, right? If you start using this value language just for the gutter, you can increase that average gutter deal size.
Amen.
Yeah.
Let me just share a couple numbers with you too, because I was odd. The number one branch in the company for gutter lock sales was Dayton, Ohio. One branch, Dayton's.
Coincidence, Ohio? Coincidence?
Well, that's where I was last
Yeah,
week.
okay.
So be nice,
All right.
be nice. They are my
All right,
favorite.
all
It's
right.
my favorite region, but
Okay.
there's reasons for that. So the branch sold $257,000 worth of gutter work last year.
Okay.
They led the company. They gave them one of these big old wrestling belts. The guys from Gutterlock came up and gave them that. The other thing I would tell you for branch managers on the call, and I'm sure it's not the only reason that Sean Russ got promoted to RSM,
Okay.
but he was the branch manager driving that ship that sold $257,000 worth of gutter work.
So that's a big number.
It's a monster number.
Okay.
There's not. They were the number one in the company.
Okay.
They sold more gutter work than anybody in the company, and the year before,
Right.
they sold less than 20.
Interesting.
It was one guy, one group, one
Interesting.
people that got together and said, we're going to do it this way, and they did it.
Huh.
The other thing that happened is that Jaden Jenkins I mentioned that has been
Yeah,
only here for
yeah.
6 months. Jaden Jenkins is the number one gutter salesman in the company.
Right.
He sold $157,000 worth of gutter lock programs, the Extreme, the
Yeah.
$18, the
Right.
Extreme Flow. He's only been here for 6 months.
Yeah,
For only
okay.
6 months. So the other thing that came out of that is, you know, I know we're pushing time, but talking about pictures, and
Right.
so I'm going to share in an email over the next couple of days a couple of videos that these guys are doing that they use to show the builder's gap and how they're positioning this, and then showing one with road and trails. Oh, it's crazy.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, they're
the
short
visual
videos.
proof. So they're using visual proof to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And when you see these videos, you're going to be like, I can do that too.
Okay.
But I got to do that, right? I mean, these two videos combined will be less than 60 seconds.
Right.
But it's just you show reaching the hand in and showing how the mics are getting in.
Yeah.
Just crazy good. So
By the way, we might want to incorporate that in one of our future trainings. Just when we do it, if it's short clips like that,
Absolutely.
show it to everybody at one time. Yeah.
no doubt. So again, just kudos to that group. And again, I'm not embarrassed by it, but again, just my limitations that I had in my own mind without how the product's being sold. And I may be alone, but it's just crazy. A selfie stick. So they Marty and Steven and Sean gave these guys at their kickoff meeting these selfie sticks that are like 20 feet long.
Right.
And I've
Like
never
literally
seen
20
one that long. Yeah, 20
yeah,
feet.
that's long, that's long.
To scope out all those gutters.
Okay.
I'd never seen them that big. I'm like, holy smokes, what are you going to do with
Wow.
that? But they had one on every salesperson's chair when they came in.
That's a great idea.
So think
by
about
the way.
that.
That's a great idea. Jay Jolly said, Ed, Ecolab doesn't use their interior tin cat properly.
There you go.
They don't
Maybe
use
that's why
glue boards.
Maybe that's why Jesse's at the top of the game.
Maybe. They just spray and customers pay. That's his end statement right there. I love that. I love that.
it, Jesse.
And some people are still trying to convince me to see this, whatever, Brene
Brown.
Brene Brown. Mark McConnell says, I love extreme ownership. I think that was Jocko.
That's Jocko.
Yeah, that's Jocko.
Yeah, that's Jocko.
I know that. All right.
Let's get out of here. We got to wrap up real quick, so we are going to scroll at the end.
Okay.
Be sure we're going to leave the chat open while the President's Club winners are scrolling. Get your score in there. We're going to pay this thing off on our next broadcast. Work on your frequent objections. If you're getting these objections all the time and they're pretty persistent, work as a team. Trying to overcome this objection of the W-2 employee, I've incorporated a lot of people on my team, and even Victor, kind of kicking through it to how to break it down. But if you're getting a consistent objection, talk about it amongst yourselves and come up with an answer. We talked about the product mastery, and I think that's the number one. Out of your 7 tips on how to become a great salesperson, that's first, become a product master, and I think you have an opportunity to do this. I don't know that I will master the flow gutter guards from Gutter Lock by the end of this weekend, but I know I'll know a heck of a lot more than I used to know about it, and I'll be able to spin it better. So practice.
Yep.
There's still plenty of January left. We're off to kind of a We're not running a double-digit increase yet, Victor. So we've
All
had
right.
kind of a slow start. We have got sales increases, but we need a little hump. But the
Okay.
good news is, once every 4 years, you get a 21-day selling month in February. And thank God for whoever invented these crazy calendars that gives us leap year. But in February, you have 21 selling days, 21 work days, weekday work days. You know, the residential folks are out there hustling on the weekends too. So
Nice.
take advantage of those. Be safe. We're going to scroll the President's Club members as we leave out of here. Just of note, it took $863,000 as a home inspector to make President's Club last year.
Nice.
And it took $652,000 in sales to make it as an account manager. These are numbers I never thought would be possible. Jason Civitoni led the way for our commercial salespeople. Tyler Jones led the way.
Wait a minute, you say that like Civitoni, Tyler
just-
Jones. No, man, that's a Civitoni, Jones. Yeah.
Leaders.
Yeah, there you go. Let's talk. Okay.
Dave Henry set the pace for national account salespeople. You'll see that all here.
Nice.
Get your cameras ready, take some pictures, and we are out of here. Be safe. Be safe. See y'all.